Look alive, crew.
My God. Okay. I feel like there's a lot to talk about with Star Citizen. At the end of the day. But I don't know, dude. Well, I guess that can just be the topic. What other things has CAG messed up with the 421? Like I mentioned, Wicklow, the base Guardian was a ship that you could earn through Wicklow. Everybody thought that it was kind of stupid because it's a Vanguard competitor in every way, shape, and form. And the Vanguard is a 2-person ship. It's got a turret. The Guardian is a 1-person ship. So, like, you should be able to earn it solo, because it is a solo ship. And not to say that it's exclusively supposed to be played without anybody around, but, you know, it's like for a solo pilot. You know? And people thought it was stupid. I think it's stupid that you can't take that ship and that you can't get that ship in game unless you go through Wicklow, which, by the way, Wicklow is 100% exorbitant prices. Like, I don't know how many people are honestly, like, playing around with the Wicklow. I was using Wicklow when the Very Hungry missions, which was literally just turn in 2 food items. I was doing that when the food items were manageable. But like, if I have to go to Pyro, that's a long-ass way out of my way for something that I don't even know what actually it's going to be. And like, all of the fucking requirements for Wicklow, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, it's like, it's fucking insane, dude. Like, give me, like, why isn't there, like, Apex Valacar, irradiated Apex Valacar pearls, so it's just Stormbreaker, which is fine that's a requirement for something, but like, God, as a solo player, if you put that on something, it means I'm never going to get it. It doesn't incentivize me to try out Stormbreaker because, like, how am I gonna do that? If you want me to do that, then, give me some social tools so I can communicate with people, so I can better try and communicate with people and try and do some of those sandbox activities. Because it ain't happening until then. And even then, like, it's just, yeah, it's bullshit. And it's especially bullshit because now you just fucking can't get the regular Guardian. Yeah, you can get the Guardian key. Is it that? I think it is genuinely a big deal if that is the precedent that they're wanting to set. Like, I mean, the Guardian key is just a better version of the Guardian, basically. More or less. The downsides are negligible. Okay, sure. But there is an entire ass ship that you cannot get in game, that they took the capability of getting it in game, they took that away. It's no longer possible. The only way you can get it is with real money. Potentially. And like, I am like appalled by the fact that there isn't more of a stink around it, because that's fucking stupid. And that's like fucking God. The only thing I can think of is that they genuinely want people to hate them. Because, this is, it's exactly what they said they didn't want to do. They want things to be earnable in-game. And, it just seems like a dirty, fucking scummy sort of thing to do. And especially with no fucking explanation or acknowledgement of that fact. As far as I can tell, why has the Guardian been removed from Wicklow? I don't fucking know. So, yeah. Sorry, that one's a big deal, because, in my mind, because they introduce this thing and then make it less desirable to interact with. And it's what are you doing? It's oh, we got rid of the RNG, which, by the way, the RNG, as a solo player, I was you know what? I could do that RNG, with the things that, those RNG missions, with the requirements that they've set out. Yeah, I could do that. And then, and now that it's not RNG, and they've basically taken whatever the RNG price was and added something on for each specific ship, now it's just, I'm never interacting with Wicklow if they keep going the way they're going, and they're making what to me looks like, frankly, just scummy business practices. And yeah, it's just it feels like they don't care. With the resource drive specifically, they, maybe not specifically, well, speaking of scummy business practices, that's the tie-in I was looking for. Bundles, or gear. So, we can complain about gear all we want. It is supposed to be cosmetics, but it doesn't matter. They sell this thing on the gear store. And, okay, sure, it's a weapon, it's an armor, eventually it's supposed to be the paints for the weapon or armor, whatever, doesn't matter. I don't care. So they sell the weapon, the armor, and a paint for a ship. It's for a specific ship. I don't care about that ship ever, because I don't have it. Even when I did have the Spirit for 4.2, they sold a special paint for the Spirit. I didn't want to buy the bundle, because guess what? I didn't want the other things in the bundle. If at every time that they made one of these releases, and by the way, the bundle is not really a bundle, it is literally called a bundle, but it's not a bundle because that would imply that it gets a discount. So, a $5 weapon, $12.50 armor, and a $5 ship paint. What the fuck does that come out to? $22.50? Well, guess what? Those things, yeah, they're gonna be $22.50. Whereas they should be $20 or, whatever. But no, the bundles they sell would be at that $22.50. I don't think specifically that, because the specific numbers, but you know what I mean. And people have been complaining that, dude, why sell these individually? I'm not going to buy $20, $30 worth of, a $20 or $30 group of items when I only want one of them. But I would spend $5 on a weapon, I would spend the $12.50 on the armor, the $15 on the armor, whatever. That's not what they want to do. In fact, they took the bundles that, like I said, aren't bundles, and they put them into a bundle. which is like the hilarious thing of them shooting themselves in the foot, because it's just like like this is you listening and doing the exact opposite of what people want. And this isn't like like we just don't want to pay you. No, this is I want to pay you if you give me a thing that is worth my money. And this big bundle is not worth my money. Maybe individual items of the bundle would be worth my money. Like, so, yeah. Same thing can be said with subscriber items, that it's like, they have not been worth it. People are not fans of what they've been doing with the subscriber items, and it's like, I've heard that it's a management issue. I've heard the opinion that it's a management issue, and I have to imagine that that's gotta be the case. That this should be a good, decent year, if not great year. Should have been good. Should have been a good Star Citizen year, but it's kind of mired by, mediocre or lackluster releases, events, activities, content that, like, and I mean, there's the element of, like, they're trying to learn how to do fast patches, when they get to 1.0, and, like, they're learning and they're failing, and you need to fail in order to learn and to grow, yes. But again, like, there's some things, like, Resource Drive is just Supplier Die 2.0 at its core. Maybe a bit more complicated than that, but, like, there are problems that existed 4 months ago when Supplier Die was going on that are still present. There are problems that didn't exist that now are present. And it's like, I don't know, dude. Until next time, have a good day, great day even. Chowskis.